County Board of Education. Right, of Education.
Oh, you were close.
Yay, Rachel! Well, thank you, Audrey, for hosting us. I really appreciate this opportunity to speak to you. County Board of Education, not one of the more well-known boards in our county. So first I usually get to explain what it is. County Board of Education covers areas that individual school boards don't necessarily cover, such as special needs. So all the special needs programs for our county, school districts comes from the County Board of Education. Schools like the high school at the Juvenile Justice Center is staffed by County Office of Education teachers. We have the Trident School for severely autistic kids, which come from all over the county. And we currently have 3 kids in Ventura Unified Schools. So next year I will have the distinction of being a PTA, a PTO, and a PTA. I'll have an elementary school, a middle schooler, and a high schooler. So I feel that our board is lacking that parental view. I feel that the board needs to have someone who is actively going to schools every day, actively talking to teachers on a regular basis, actively talking to parents on a regular basis, knowing what the children are doing. We don't get a lot of press. We don't get a lot of newspaper coverage. You're not going to read a lot about it. And so the only way people really learn about these races is for you guys to learn and then go talk to your friends. So if anything comes out of today, me taking my time, you taking your time, is to get a really good understanding about why it is important that we vote for these offices and why it is important that we know who we're voting for. Because it is a large budget. It's a $188 million budget. And there was a period from 2006 to 2008 where our County Board of Education gave away $20,000 a month to lobbyists. Ventura County had the distinction of being the county that spent the most money on lobbyists from their County Board of Education in the whole state. So $500,000 left our county. Not sure where it went and what it went for, but it's not watching these kind of races and not seeing who you're getting in there that does have an effect quietly. Fortunately, some people are watching, and
More
so it
people with Bell.
Yeah,
Who knew? Who knew? So it is important. It is important we watch these little races. It is important who we elect, and so I would appreciate all you guys talking to your friends, making sure people understand the issues. My district is Area 1, which is all of Ventura, but it does cover a portion of Oxnard, which is Silver Strand, Hollywood Beach, Oxnard Shores, and this whole area from Oxnard Boulevard down to Doris. So there's quite a bit of Oxnard in there as well. So I've spent some time coming out to Oxnard, and I appreciate you guys having me. So if you have any questions.
Do you think charter schools should be expanded in the community, or that we have sufficient numbers of charter schools in relationship to public schools at this time?
You know what? We should always look at something like charter schools from the position of each charter school is a really unique thing. So you can't say all charter schools are great and all charter schools are horrible. It's never, they're an individual curriculum, an individual idea that's coming forward. And so I would never say we need more charter schools or we need less. Would be, let's look at the charter schools we have. Let's actually see if they're working. You know, between, I have a 6th grader and I have an 8th grader. And they're both gate identified. They're both very bright. My 8th grader, when he was in 6th grade, had 32 kids in his core classes. My 6th grader, same core classes, now has, I think it's 40, if not 41 students in his core class. And this is a very bright kid who, very advanced in math, who failed his first math test in middle school in 6th grade. And he came home and I went, wow, what happened? And he's like, well, I answered the questions, I just answered the wrong questions. Okay, why don't you talk to your teacher? And this is the first week of school, and he looks at me and he says, Mom, there's 40 kids in my class, she doesn't have time. Like, it wasn't even a big deal to him, but he's just telling me the facts. What are you gonna do? 40 kids, no time, oh well, right? And he moves on, and I'm thinking, wait, how many kids do you have in your class? Like, this is how we're educating our any kids. This is how we're educating them? 40 kids in a class? Really? 6th grade? I mean, last time I checked, you don't get to do 6th grade over. I mean, you can. It's not a good idea. But these are kids who are going into 6th grade where they're already at a point where you can keep them or lose them.
Rachel, as an early interventionist, I work with children that have developmental delays. When do you feel it's advantageous for a child to get services? How early do you think they should get them? And how long should they continue with them if needed?
I think that the earlier you identify, the better predictor of success. My oldest son, who is, I like to call my true gate kid, I had him in Tri-Counties at 2.5, 3 because he wasn't speaking. Well, he actually was speaking. He was speaking his own language. And they kind of tested him. They said, well, you know, he seems normal. He's not even trying to mimic me, but I would rather take every child in speech therapy than miss these children and then have problems later. And so he did do speech therapy for about a year, and right after he started speech therapy, he just kind of decided to talk. I guess the jig was up and he was going to go with the program.